Good morning.
No, this isn't set up at all.
UK deploys military in Russia spy attack probe. Nerve agent, stable, easily dispersed, highly toxic with rapid effects both through the skin and via respiration. I don't think it was through the ingestion. Because what are the police going to show up and start drinking this guy's milk or something? Muscles move on instructions sent by the nerves in the form of electrochemical impulses. All right. Rural crime team. He was recruited by Britain's MI6 while an active officer in the 90s. Passed information to undercover Russian intelligence agents in Europe. Detained by Moscow in 2004. Sentenced by a military tribunal to 13 years on a charge of state treason. Reduced from 20 for cooperation. MI6 had made payments to his bank account in Spain totaling over $100,000 according to Russian authorities. Pardoned by Russian President Dmitry Medvedev in 2010, released in a spy swap and moved to Britain. He found collapse, but he didn't die. They sure as hell have stuff that if they wanted to kill you, they'd kill you. I don't know. Seems so suspect to me. British police requested military assistance in investigating a nerve agent attack on a former Russian double agent as speculation mounted Friday about how London could respond if a state actor were to be blamed. Police extend the cordon around the modest suburban home of Sergei Skripal in the Salisbury, the quiet city in southwestern England where he and his daughter Yulia were found slumped on a bench on Sunday. The pair remain unconscious in a critical but stable condition, while Nick Bailey, one of the first police officers on the scene, is now sitting up and talking after he initially admitted to intensive care. So see how that police officer also got poisoned? It's just, to me, it seems like really simple that he wouldn't have been poisoned if it were in the drink. But if something were on the clothes or something were on something he handled and he was the first responder, that would make sense. With police also hurt in the attack, pressure is intensifying on Prime Minister Theresa May to find and punish the culprits. The involvement of a British citizen, especially a policeman, requires the immediate and strong involvement of the British authorities, Clapham House analyst Matthew Bolgi told AFP. Oh, we're going to go to war. Around 21 people have been treated, according to Keir Pitchard, Chief Constable for Wiltshire Police. Wow, these words are just king. A number of those who have been through the hospital treatment process, they're having blood tests. They're having treatment in terms of support and advice. Crucial inquiry. Authorities are racing to find the source of the nerve agent used against 66-year-old Skripal, who came to Britain in 2010 as part of a spy swap. As politicians warned, it bore the hallmarks of an attack by Russia. Well, how do you know? Why would you put that out in the press? I mean, the only reason you'd put that out in the press is to do exactly what you're doing. And use it, and then that makes me suspect that you would do it to yourself or it's like U.S. Britain operation or something, MI6 American operation or something like that. National counter, and they also poisoned a Russian. So, but he was working, it's like working with Russia and this and that. So it's like they really didn't poison one of their own. National Counterterrorism Police, who are leading the investigation, announced on Friday that they had requested assistance from the military to remove a number of vehicles and objects from the scene. Military assistance will continue as necessary during this investigation, they added. With media reporting, 108 personnel may be involved, including Royal Marines and chemical specialists. Defense Secretary Galvin Williamson said the armed forces might have the right people with the right skills to deal with the crucial inquiry. During a visit to the site on Friday, Interior Minister Aber Ruud called the attack outrageous but urged people to give the police the space they need to really go through the area carefully to do their investigation. Propaganda. In a response to questions over Russia's possible involvement, May has said that if action needs to be taken, then the government will do that. Possible responses include the expulsion of some of Russia's 58 diplomats, some kind of boycott on the 2018 Football World Cup, or an increased British military presence in Eastern Europe. Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson floated the idea of deepening sanctions against Russian officials, but Britain would have to persuade its international partners. Moscow has reacted angrily to the accusations it was involved, with Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Friday dismissing them as baseless propaganda. On Wednesday, however, Russian state TV presenter Kirill Kamikilov had appeared to deliver a veiled warning saying, "Don't choose England as your future country of residence, whether you are a professional trader to the motherland or whether you hate your country in your spare time." A deadly gift? Analyst Bolgi said it would be extremely difficult to pinpoint who committed the attack and that the response could be a lot more complicated if it turned out that internal factions were responsible. It is possible that it is related to the elections in Russia or that it is part of a battle between the elites within the security services to send messages either to the England or the Russian elites. Police have cordoned off the bench where the pair were found, as well as an Italian restaurant and a pub they visited before their collapse. They also sealed off the grave of Skripal's wife, Ludmila, who died in 2012 from cancer, as well as the memorial stone of his son, Alexander, who was cremated last year after reportedly dying of liver problems. The Times newspaper said police were probing whether Skripal's daughter, who arrived in Britain from Moscow last week, may have inadvertently brought in the nerve agent as a gift. Wait. The Times newspaper said police were probing whether Skripal's daughter, who arrived in Britain from Moscow last week, may have inadvertently brought in the nerve agent as a gift. Skripal was a former colonel in Russian military intelligence who was jailed in his country for betraying agents to Britain's MI6 Secret Service. He was pardoned in 2010 before being flown to Britain as part of a high-profile spy swap involving Russia and the United States. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? Talk about a crazy end. A deadly gift? Look at this racket that they're doing outside. A lot more complicated if it turned out that internal factions were responsible. It's possible that it's related to the elections, send messages, a battle between elites, but what I don't get is how the daughter brought in, right here, Skripal's daughter, who arrived in Britain from Moscow, inadvertently brought in the nerve agent as a gift? I guess maybe that's what spy families do. Huh? Is that what spy families do? ZZ. Let's look at the photos that they're giving us. Let's look at these hardcore. Because they obviously gave us that other one. Skripal at a hearing in Moscow. GRU, Colonel in the GRU. The 3366 is pretty suspect. Muscular twitching, convulsions, can paralyze muscles, loss of consciousness, respiratory failure. So electrochemical impulses continue to fire, cause constant stimulation. There's a receptor, postsynaptic membrane, nerve agents disable the body's off switch for glands and muscles. Once the instruction is carried out, an enzyme switches off the impulse. Tabun, sarin, soman, V agents, which are 10 times more poisonous than sarin, and VX. So it's something that is, I think what they're getting at is if it was something like VX or something, or V agents, that dude would be dead. I mean, no one died in this. So it seems like they put very, 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 very little. And why they showed this picture instead of the guy with the glove, but he has his hands out, just like, look at his hands. He's also buying milk, which could mean he was already poisoned at this point. Having some stomach issues or something. I don't know. That's what I thought. Why are they showing us this? Hold on. Sergei Skripal bought groceries at a corner shop in southern England's city of Salisbury before collapsing. Sergei Skripal bought groceries at a corner shop. That's all. That's what they say. Fact file on Sergei Skripal, who was poisoned in Britain. I mean, nothing else. Fact file. ZZ. But they do keep showing this ZZ. It was the restaurant he lost 8 at, but we'll see, but I don't think he ingested it. And that glove is really suspect. But we'll see. We'll see, because they couldn't have, they might not have known that he would have gone there, but they wouldn't have also known that he was going to go to ZZ. Well, yeah, if they were listening to his phone. Curious about this case. All right, let me know what you think. I'm out of here.
18 and I'll be voting for my first time. Hi, my name is MlLlTARY. I'm from Wisconsin. I just turned 18 and I'll be voting for my first time in November. I was wondering if you had any advice. How do I vote?
How do you vote? Oh my God, woman, you mean you're asking somebody in Florida how to vote? Good day in the morning.
Hi, I'm calling from New Jersey. My husband's always complaining about working so hard. How do I get him off the couch to mow the lawn?
Why can't you mow the lawn? Do you have a riding lawnmower? If you have a riding lawnmower, there's no problem. And you can certainly get your fat ass on that and do that while he's at work.
Hi, my name is Tiffany. I'm from Colorado. My boyfriend always has his hands down his pants while we're watching TV. How do I get him to stop?
Well, what does he think? He's going to run away or something? Or he's got to hold on to it? I don't know. There's something wrong with him. Nobody's going to up and steal it from him.
I'm Matt from Fullerton, California, and my question is, how many gingerbread men can I fit in my mouth at once?
Now, you know, if that is not the guy, you know something, you really make me mad when you come with me a question like that. You put, I don't care, just tin up your ass as far as I'm concerned. Never heard anything so sick.
Hi, my name's Lindsay Miller. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. When a man has a lot of sex partners, he's called a stud. But what do you call a woman with a lot of partners?
She's a whore.
Hey, my name is Lynn, and I'm from Moultrie, Georgia. I hate the black spot in Jay's hair. I think he should dye it. What do you think?
The only way Jay Leno looks good is the way he is now. Because Jay Leno is not good looking. Well, he doesn't have a good body. He has no butt at all. He has no butt. He's flat as a flitter.
My name is Lindsay Balco, and I'm from Porterville, California. And I would like to know what advice you can give to newlyweds to achieve a happy, successful marriage.
The advice I would give newlyweds is never go to bed mad at each other. That's the most important thing. And another important thing is to always, the woman should always keep herself clean and attractive in every sense of the word. Keep yourself clean. Keep Miss Puss clean all the time. Inside and out. Put on your best gown. Get a little perfume on you. Crawl in that bed. And I guarantee you, Miss Puss will have a time of her life.
Hello, I'm Mary Rooney from Boston. Now that you're on TV and a role model for youngsters, don't you think you should stop using bad language?
Hell no.